So what's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to JA News.
It's up.
Your source for the latest and greatest here in the world of sneakers. So just when you thought things couldn't get better, Adidas has officially unveiled phase 3 of our August Yeezy releases, and it looks like the list is even better than I anticipated, as it looks like we got a classic and arguably one of the greatest Yeezys of all time making a comeback. And after this week's reveal, I'm even more excited to see what surprises are in store for next week. So we got a good one. Stay tuned. It's coming right up next. So you can catch brand new episodes of JA News weekdays right here. So be sure to subscribe and come along for the ride. So to kick things off, after Adidas has now officially unveiled this week's drop list, let me ask you guys, is this the best week we've had so far? Taking a look at the releases, I was expecting to see a pair of foam runners on here, but it looks like Adidas is gonna possibly drop those next week. But taking a look at what we got here, there's even more stuff than I anticipated. So starting off with the slides, it looks like this is gonna be either the slate gray or granite pair. It's kind of difficult to tell from this image, but you pretty much got a dark colored slide, and they can't make enough of these because every time they drop Yeezy slides, they sell out every time. And I feel like even if they made a rainbow colored slide, they would still sell. Now, when it comes to these 350s, of course, you got the dark salt, a black version of the 350, but these statics, they definitely got a little more history behind them. Real Yeezy heads know that this was the introduction into kind of like a new wave for the 350s when they originally released. And these came in a non-reflective and reflective pair. So it's crazy to think back to those days. And I feel like they should have definitely brought that wave back, but it's definitely a cool time to remember. So those are coming back, and I believe this is the non-reflective pair. Now, when it comes to these 950 boots, does it just me, or taking a look at early pairs of these, it feels like this updated 2023 version looks slightly different from the OG pair. I can't really put my finger on it, but with this $600 retail price point, they better be using some great materials, and I'm expecting to see like phenomenal, craftsmanship on this, down to like leather insoles that I actually have on my season 4 boots. So I'm expecting nothing but the best if they're hitting us with a $600 price tag. So then, of course, you got the Quantums, the high res colorway. I don't really gotta say too much about them. I've talked about this pair so many times, so there's no storytelling needed to sell you on this pair. The colorway on these joints goes crazy. And when it comes to Quantums, historically, we know them for kind of going for under retail, but I think on this pair, I like them so much that I may just pull the trigger for full retail. And then you got the 700 V1s, of course, the utility blacks, which originally dropped back in 2019. A lot of Yeezy heads missed out on these when they originally dropped. So a lot of people are looking to grab these now, or maybe double back. Your OG pair could be a little beat by now. These feature a black upper with a nice gum bottom. And then the last pair, the OG Wave Runners, arguably one of the greatest pairs. Actually, you know what? To me, this is the greatest Yeezy of all time. It's just such an iconic model, infusing the past with the future, hitting us with this beautiful retro-like color. There's just so many cool things to say about this shoe. I just absolutely love these joints, and I still remember when I got my first pair. Just a classic, and no matter how many times they drop them, they still sell out every time. So I feel like out of everything dropping, this was the biggest surprise of the week, and I think this is gonna be the most highly anticipated release for phase 3 of Yeezy drops. But stay tuned, guys. We got more Yeezy talk coming up, but first, a couple of quick sneaker updates. So after initially teasing images of this release earlier this month, Hall Studios has officially unveiled their latest Asics Gel 1130 MK3 Glacier collaboration. So this pair, of course, features a mesh as well as suede upper. In terms of the design, the inspiration is said to take from our natural surroundings. So be on the lookout to these to drop tomorrow on Hall Studios websites, and then expect a wider release on Asics website in the coming weeks. So Salehi Bembry and Crocs are at it again, and they're pumping these joints out like crazy. So we got a new colorway for the Polex Crocs Clog. The colorway is titled Como, which I believe the inspiration comes from Lake Como in northern Italy. So it appears that this is a darker shade than we got last month for the Niagara colorway. So not bad. I've never tried a pair of these, but I remember I grabbed a pair of the Polex slides recently, and they're okay. So maybe one day I'll check these out, but be on the lookout for these. They're going to be dropping on the 17th for a retail of $85 on Salehi's Be a Sponge website. And then you guys know the routine. Expect a wider release on Croc's site, coming up after that. And with this release, I wonder if they're gonna accompany this drop with a new colorway of the slides as well. All right, so let me ask you, does this somewhat feel like Nike's kind of having a slower month? But who am I kidding? We all know things are gonna heat back up when they drop those Kobe's at the end of this month. But in the meantime, Jordan Brand, they're bringing back the 6-ring boots that absolutely nobody asked for. So I guess if you guys missed out on the Yeezy 500 boots yesterday, you guys can go ahead and grab these as a consolation prize, because not only are they dropping in a wheat colorway, but they're also hitting us with the triple black joint. So let me ask you guys, for this winter, are the 6-ring boots replacing Tim's? But nah, let me stop playing with you guys and let's go ahead and get back into this Yeezy talk. So now that Adidas has officially unveiled this week's Yeezy releases, I'm now even more excited to see what surprises they could possibly have in store for us next week. But as these weeks wind down, it's also important to note that this whole thing is coming to an end. And although I anticipate a drop next week, as well as another big Yeezy release before this year's end, this whole thing is really actually coming to an end. So it's important to kind of live into the moment, and also important to reflect on, what pairs we've had also drop so far for this month of August Yeezy releases. So I want to ask you guys, what has been your favorite pair that has dropped this month? For me, I gotta go with the 450 slides, a pair that I never thought would release, and now that they officially dropped, I was super excited. And once I finally got my pair, they didn't disappoint. The same great Yeezy comfort that we expect when it comes to Yeezy slides. But I gotta say, the sizing was absolutely crazy on those joints. So if you guys grab those, hopefully you went with my sizing advice, because Adidas recommended to go a full size up. So hopefully you guys ain't looking crazy out here with boats on your feet. I actually had to go like a full size down on those joints. So super crazy, but definitely excited to grab those. Out of everything that dropped, that was definitely my favorite release so far for these August Yeezy drops. Now, out of everything that released, I would say probably the biggest surprise to me had to be the Yeezy Knit Runner, the Onyx joints that drop. When it comes to the Knit Runner, I feel like a lot of people kind of wrote that model off. Early on, I think the OGs were hot, but after that, a lot of people weren't checking for them. But I feel like with this darker Onyx colorway, it kind of brought people into this model. And I gotta say, it definitely surprised me at the fact that how many people actually grabbed those. So it's super dope to see. I feel like it's a good sneaker. I just wish they would have slightly given us a little bit different of a shape, but regardless, I feel like they're cool and definitely an awesome pair of sneakers to, have in your collection. Definitely has a more alien design that everybody isn't used to. So out of everything that dropped, I would say that the Knit Runner was definitely my biggest surprise. Awesome to see, so many people grab those and now, finally enjoy that sneaker. So let me know, guys, what was your favorite release so far, and what was your biggest surprise for these August Yeezy drops? We got a big week ahead of us, so make sure you guys stay locked in with me. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe, because we're covering everything this week in Yeezy. So we're gonna wrap things up here. Salute to you guys for tuning in. I'm JA. Make sure y'all stay safe, stay blessed, and I'm out, y'all. Catch you tomorrow. Love.